Hello everybody, welcome to Contentment Guide Astrology. I am Michelle. This video is about the new moon which happens on either the 30th or the 31st of December, depending on where you are in the world. And this will happen at 9 degrees of Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Please comment on your experience of this new moon. Every interaction helps my channel to grow and it helps other people to find my content, and I'm very grateful for that. So, this new moon in Capricorn, this new moon feels to me like it is a new moon that is happening in Capricorn after finally Pluto leaves and enters Aquarius. So this feels like this new moon is bringing absolutely new energy and new insights into that area of your life where Pluto was transiting since 2008. So all of those long-standing changes that would have happened while Pluto was in Capricorn, we are now presented by this new moon at the very end of 2024 with a new view and a new insight and new fresh energy in this part of our charts. So find out where Capricorn falls for you in your chart. There is a new beginning and a new seed being planted in this area of the chart. So this new moon falls at the very end of 2024, but this means that it carries that energy of this new moon into the beginning of 2025. So in a way, this is actually the first new moon of 2025 because that energy is carried into the first 2 weeks of 2025. So the sun and the moon are both at 9 degrees of Capricorn, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So Capricorn is the energy of institutions. It is the governments, our workplaces, and it is the energy that can be very hardworking, ready to climb the ladder, ready to take on new responsibilities. And at this time of the new moon, Saturn has recently turned direct. It is now sitting at 14 degrees of Pisces in its direct motion, and it is forming a square to Jupiter in Gemini. So this has been an energy that we've been working with for the last few months, especially during and with the Mercury retrograde. And this Saturn square Jupiter, we're going to feel very strongly still until the 10th of January. So it happens again briefly at the last 2 weeks of May. But for now, between this new moon and the 10th of January, we're feeling this square between Jupiter and Saturn quite strongly again. So Jupiter will turn direct on the 4th of February. So in that area of your chart of Gemini, we're still in that more introspective and reviewing kind of energy with Jupiter being retrograde. Saturn is now direct, and Jupiter is still working with that more reviewing, rethinking, replanning kind of energy. So I just want to talk about the energies of Jupiter and Saturn again. So Jupiter is all about growth, it's about expansion, It's about faith, our belief systems, our values. It's about justice and opportunity. So there's a lot of expansion that can happen with Jupiter, but in the Gemini part of your chart, there might be a slowdown in terms of things that started off earlier in the year with Jupiter in Gemini, and a real slow moving or even stopping of energies that were started before that are now being reviewed. Saturn, the energy of Saturn is all about boundaries. It is about a membrane that can be broken through like a glass ceiling. So it can be our perceived limitations that we can break through. It is a tension between opposites. It is that tension between our ideal reality and what is really playing out in front of us. And it is that tension between the known and the unknown. And Saturn is all about those opposites, known and unknown. And we can really work with all of these energies at this time. So with Saturn and Jupiter being in a square, there's some kind of a little bit more conflicting and challenging energy happening in terms of working with our belief systems, working with our boundaries and our perceived glass ceilings in our life. We can be finding new values and belief systems and principles of justice and opportunity in our lives. And this tension is helping us to find a new way to move forward. And with Saturn and Jupiter in this square at this new moon, we are definitely working with these energies in terms of finding new wisdom, long-term goals, all related to Saturn. And with Jupiter being retrograde, I feel it's asking us to tap even more into the long term, because Jupiter is asking us to review those goals and beliefs and values. And then when Jupiter starts moving forward on the 4th of February, we're going to have new ways of working with these energies. So be patient, because with the current Mars retrograde and also the Jupiter retrograde, I feel that there's a lot of energies in the new year that we're not going to be operating like an arrow flying through the air, freely. There's still some things that we are reviewing and rethinking, and so between Jupiter and Mars, for the first few months and even the first quarter of the year, we're going to still be going a little bit slowly and finding new ways of taking action and working with our new belief systems that we now discover during this Jupiter retrograde. So this is a great time for personal growth, really going inward and reviewing your belief systems and your values, and seeing where you place perceived boundaries on yourself, and seeing where you can find more harmony between your ideal and your real reality in your life. We can have changes of boundaries at this time, real breakthroughs, changes in beliefs, faith and values, and also problem solving. So at this time of this new moon, we're also getting very, very close to the second opposition between Mars in Leo and Pluto in Aquarius, and this will be exact on the 3rd of January, but they are already just a degree apart at this new moon. So there's a tension here. Mars is retrograde, it's opposing Pluto. We're going to go very deeply into more shadow aspects of how we deal with our energy, our sexuality, how we take action in the world, how we deal with conflict. All of these things are being reviewed and reworked. Also in that opposition, which is a more conflicting tension energy that we are working with. And at the time of the new moon, we're also having a very interesting square between Venus in Aquarius and Uranus in Taurus. So this is active from about the 25th of December. It is perfect on the 28th of December, but it's still very strong at the time of this new moon, and it'll be around until the 1st or 2nd of January. So with Venus and Uranus, there can be some real revelations, sudden insights, sudden changes in direction with all things related to Venus, our relationships, our creativity, love. So expect the unexpected when it comes to things related to Venus between Christmas and New Year, and be open to changes of direction and insights as to how now to move forward in a new way. And then the most beneficial transit that is happening at the time of this new moon, which is very fiery. It's happening from fiery Sagittarius to fiery Aries, and this is a trine between Mercury and Chiron. This is quite a fast transit, as Mercury is now really picking up speed again. So we will really feel this between the 29th of December and the 2nd of January, and it will be perfect on the 1st of January. So with Mercury moving fast, Mercury and Chiron both being in fire signs, and depending on where you are, around about the 29th, 30th of December, Chiron is also now moving forward after its retrograde. So at the time of this trine, Mercury is moving forward very fast. Chiron has just changed direction and is moving forward. So this is a real time for healing in our minds, in our communication, and how we deal with Mercury related things. You can also see which house Sagittarius is for you and Aries is for you in your chart. There's a real conversation here between Chiron and Mercury, and real opportunities for healing old ways, finding new ways to move forward better with Mercury related energy. So I got a Ching guidance for this new moon in Capricorn. I threw the coins and I got hexagram 28, no changing lines. It says lighten the load. I find this very fascinating for this time of the year. I think a lot of us are tired after 2024, and the fact that this hexagram is called lighten the load, it really says a lot. It says, have you been carrying too much? Make some choices to lighten your load. Ask for help if needed. Something has got to give. Get to the heart of what weighs you down. Find a lasting solution to lighten the load. Find a way to be gentle in doing this. Only keep what is truly important. So on these very last days of this year, And where I am, this new moon actually falls on the 31st, so on the very last, early morning of the very last day of the year. We are really being asked to lighten our load, to choose what we are carrying with us into the new year, and what is really important to us, and what we can let go of in order to lighten the load. So I also drew a tarot card, and I received the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is a very fiery card. So this to me relates to that opposition. Mars is in Leo, which is very fiery. Mars is very fiery itself. Even though Mars is retrograde at the moment, I feel the Knight of Wands is asking us, even though it's usually a fast-moving energy, asking us to review how we deal with our energy, how we take action in the world. And the Knight of Wands is definitely also related to that healing energy that is happening at the moment between Mercury in Sagittarius and Chiron in Aries. Both in fire signs, both giving us an opportunity to heal our minds, our thought patterns, and our communication. So the energy is related to the Knight of Wands. It's a fire element. It's about how we spend our energy, how we take action. It can be fast moving. It's about how we find the hero within. It's about following your heart. And it's also about trusting yourself to be able to deal with whatever arises. So I think this is a wonderful energy to take with us into the new year. That feeling of inner knowing that no matter what happens, we've got this, we can deal with what arises, we can take action on things that we need to take action on. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this reading on the new moon. I wish you all the best blessings for 2025. And my next video will be about the Mars retrograde that is now in the first week of the new year going to enter Cancer for a really long time. So watch out for that video. I am still doing 2025 year ahead readings. Please tap into that. Please contact me if you are interested in receiving one. And please share this. Please subscribe. It helps my channel to grow. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.